Let me explain Labor's plans in plain English. The Albanese government has said that to increase productivity, Labor will change the rules so that their personal retirement savings can be used to deliver their campaign commitments. Minister, what assurance can you give Australians that have seen time and time again that when Labor run out of money, they come after yours?
Senator Hume.
Thank you, Madam President. My question is to the Minister representing the Treasurer, Senator Gallagher. Last week the Treasurer announced we are going to have another look at the super performance test and that this would be done to remove obstacles and impediments to super investing in areas like housing and other areas where there's clearly a national need. Minister, the performance test does not stop superannuation funds from investing in any asset, so long as that investment stacks up financially. It does, however, protect superannuation members, ensuring that superannuation is invested solely in the members' best financial interest and preventing super becoming a vehicle for a political agenda. Minister, when the Treasurer says that he will be taking another look at the performance test, specifically what tweaks does the government have in mind?
Thank you, Senator Hume. Minister Gallagher.
Thank you very much, President. I thank Senator Hume for the question and around an issue that came up during the Treasurer's economic roundtable discussions that were held last week. This was an issue that was raised and has been raised by some, and it came up under the section of the roundtable that was looking at capital investment, capital flows, and how to ensure that we get the investment in Australia that's needed to support the growing needs of our economy and our country. The Treasurer has said that he will have a look at it, but he has also made it clear that it does his assessment of any changes that may come will not be around the better off super objective, which is and responsibility that funds always look for the best outcome for members, and he's been very clear about that. So this is one of the areas that has come up. It is going to be an area that will be looked at further, but the Treasurer has not concluded his thinking, or nor the government has concluded our thinking on that. This was one of a number of areas which we are doing further work on, coming out from the economic reform roundtable. But the Treasurer has been very clear of those areas, looking at the performance test, the areas that he is not going to.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Hume, first supplementary.
Thank you, Madam President. Minister, when the coalition government introduced the performance test, Australians were paying more for their superannuation fees than they were in their electricity and water bills combined. Thanks to the coalition's reforms, super fees are now at record lows, and super fund investment returns have exceeded market expectations every year since. Millions of Australians will now retire with more. So what problem, Minister, are you trying to solve? What do you want to allow investments in superannuation why do you want to make investments in superannuation that would make Australians worse off?
Thank you, Senator Hume. The time for asking the question has expired. Minister Gallagher.
I don't accept that is what we are doing, the end of Senator Hume's question. And I think we're all on a unity ticket around ensuring that fees for members are low and that outcomes for members are high. And that is what we seek for anyone who has a superannuation account. And there has been a lot of work, and I'll acknowledge the work, Senator Hume, that you did when you had responsibility for the portfolio in looking at issues around fees. This is not around looking at those matters at all. This is an issue that has come up in the context of allowing superannuation to be invested in Australia and some of the barriers to that occurring. The Treasurer has said he will have a look at it. It has been raised. He will have a look at it. but that will not take away from the fundamental purpose of superannuation.
Thank you, Minister. The time for answering has expired. Senator Hume, second supplementary.
Thank you, Madam President. So this is complicated, but for those that are worried about what this actually means for them, let me explain Labor's plans in plain English. The Albanese government has said that to increase productivity, Labor will change the rules so that their personal retirement savings can be used to deliver their campaign commitments. Minister, what assurance can you give Australians that have seen time and time again that when Labor run out of money, they come after yours?
Thank you, Senator Hume. Order. Order. The minister is on her feet. Order. Order. Minister Gallagher.
Well, it seems that those opposite haven't learnt anything from the last election to carry on like that. Senator Hume, to carry on like that when you know that is exact.
Oh, beg your pardon. Sorry, Senator Hume.
Point of order, Madam President. Why is it always that the mean girls go personal?
Senator Hume, I'm going to ask you to withdraw that.
I withdraw.
Minister, please continue.
Thank you. And sorry, I'm kind of struck by that, Senator Hume. I expected better. I always expect better from you, but there you go.
Minister Gallagher, please resume your seat. Senator Hume, I'll just remind the chamber, and you in particular, how you raise a point of order. You stand, you wait for my call, and you respectfully put the point of order. What is your point of order?
Relevance, Madam President. I just want to know why it is that Labor come after Australians' money when they run out of their own.
Senator Hume, you are well aware the minister is entitled to take interjections as part of the question. So I suggest if you want relevance to your question that you believe is not there, stop interjecting. Minister, please continue.
Well, just to finish on this, Labor is the party of superannuation. Yeah. We created it, we strengthened it, we've supported it to 12%. The reason people have superannuation in this country is because of the Australian Labor Party, and those opposite have sought to undermine it every single time they have the opportunity. You never supported it, you never wanted working people to have superannuation, and when you've had the opportunity, you've sought to undermine it. Well, that is not what the Albanese Labor government will ever do with your super.
Oi, mate, let's not beat around the bush here. What we just saw in Parliament was an absolute stitch-up. A dog's breakfast served fresh by Albo and his Labor crew. I swear, if you blinked, you probably missed the moment Jane Hume ripped Gallagher to shreds. But don't worry, I've got you covered. And trust me, you're gonna want to hear this, cause this is about your super, your retirement nest egg, the very money you've been slogging your guts out for, week after week, while these clowns in Canberra are scheming to dip their greedy little mitts straight into it. Yeah, you heard me right. Labor's circling your hard-earned like a bunch of seagulls around hot chips at Bondi, and Senator Hume wasn't having a bar of it. Before we dive into Labor's superannuation raid, where Jane Hume torches Gallagher, Albo ducks for cover, and the whole chamber looks like it's caught nicking from the cookie jar, smash that like button like you're slapping Labor's hands off your retirement savings. Subscribe if you're sick of these super scams. And grab the who voted for this shirt, links in the description. Now, look, Aussies aren't dumb. We've seen this movie before, haven't we? Every bloody time Labor runs out of cash, every time their promises don't stack up, every time the budget blows out like a busted tire, where do they go crawling? Straight for your savings. They call it national need. They call it productivity reform. They dress it up in all sorts of fancy words to make it sound noble. But let's cut the crap. It's just another raid, plain and simple. And Gallagher, standing there like a deer in the headlights, couldn't even string together a decent excuse. Watching her try to explain was like watching someone trying to read a map upside down, confused, shaky, and embarrassing as hell. Senator Jane Hume, though, bloody hell, she came out swinging. No nonsense, straight talk, proper Aussie style. She called it for what it is, a grab for your super. And the best bit? She did it with the whole chamber watching, cameras rolling, and Gallagher scrambling like she just realized she left her phone in an Uber. The tension was so thick you could have cut it with a butter knife, and the smug faces on the Labor side started melting real quick. You could see it, the exact moment they realized the jig was up. And let me tell ya, this isn't some minor hiccup. Nah, this is the kind of political rot that makes people chuck sickies, just so they don't have to deal with the constant stress of wondering if their future is safe. Because superannuation isn't just numbers in an account. It's decades of blood, sweat, and tears. It's tradies working double shifts, nurses pulling overtime, teachers marking papers at midnight. It's the quiet sacrifice Aussies make, trusting that at the end of it all, they'll have something to show for it. And what does Labor want to do? Funnel it into pet projects, experimental green schemes, half-baked housing dreams, all dressed up as opportunities for the nation. Pull the other one, it's got bells on it. I mean, think about it for a sec. The performance test, this safeguard that's been working bloody brilliantly, by the way, was designed to make sure your super isn't used as some politicians play money. It keeps the funds focused on your best interests, not the government's latest PR stunt. And yet here's Chalmers and Gallagher floating the idea of tweaking it. Tweaking, my ass. We all know what tweaking means in political speak. It's code for, we're loosening the bolts so we can pry this thing open when no one's looking. Catch you in the next one. And don't just tap that like button, smash it like you're smashing Labor's grubby hands away from your super fund. And if you're as fired up as Senator Jane Hume was, grab the "Who voted for this tea?" Wear it when you check your payslip, when you cop another rent rise, or when you're standing in line wondering if your retirement's about to bankroll Albo's next vanity project. Stay sharp, stay loud, and never let them nick a single cent of the Australia you worked your guts out to build.